Welcome back to Free Speech Nation. Now, we were talking politics before the break. We're going to carry on with that theme. This is a clip from the Labour Party conference, where it is clear that the delegates involved were not diverse enough. Let's take a look.
I am going to use this opportunity to ask for more speakers, but before anyone puts their hands up, I am aware, sitting here, one, it is very difficult to see all of you. There are very bright lights, which you can't really see when you sat down there. And two, the people putting their hands up do not reflect the diversity of the people in this hall, and that is very clear to me. I am afraid, and I'm not speaking from a position of particular strength here, there are too many white men putting their hands up. I am not anti-white men. Some of my favourite people, my dad's a white man. But I do not want white men to exclusively dominate this or any other debate at this conference. And following on from my comrade in the chair this morning, I do wish to see the diversity of the whole reflected. I'm not putting anybody on the spot here, but if you want to speak, do not be afraid to put your hand up. We want to hear from you. This is an inclusive conference. Hands up now, please, bearing that in mind. Thank you.
OK, so that was the chairman of the debate, right? So he was choosing who should get to answer or ask the question. So clearly he's choosing the white men. Or is he saying that there are no people of colour putting their hands up? So, in fact, what he's saying there is, come on, you know, join in. I mean, it's actually very patronising, isn't it?
I'll say.
I mean, it's insane.
I'm going to be using... It absolutely boils my urine, this particular...
What a lovely image.
Yes, thank you. Now, this particular debate, and I'll tell you why, because it reduces identity to colour. So, for example, if you come... I'm actually mixed race. Mother's from Venezuela, my dad is from Wigan. But the point is, like, so would I be more allowed to speak if I looked more like my mother than my Wiganese dad?
Well, the Wiganese... I think this is... But this is a very good question, right? So when... I don't know if you know about this. So there was a conference in Edinburgh University, which the students had organised about 2 years ago, before the pandemic, and it was called Resisting Whiteness, OK? And as part of this, they had a Q&A at the end, and what they said was that white people wouldn't be allowed to ask a question in the Q&A. But then where does that place you if you're mixed race? Maybe you're not obviously a person of colour. Or if you're sort of half and half, do you get to whisper a question?
I like the half and half as well. It's very progressive, Andrew.
But how well, what am I was trying to be tactful there.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, for goodness. But this is an interesting question, isn't it? Why are we judging? Why not just hear people's ideas? Look, I tell you what, with this particular Labour conference debate, OK? Yeah. Now, if it had been about race relations in the UK or something relating to that, and it was only white people we were hearing from, I might think, come on. Like, because, you know, I want to hear about the experiences of different people in the country. This was a debate about housing and transport. Right, so this did not relate to the topic whatsoever, and it just feels like they are shoehorning in identity politics at every area, and that is making Labour unelectable. Am I wrong?